I'm the Hooded Lid and welcome to my channel. Today I am bringing to you something brand new to me. Other people have already pulled the trigger on this, but I don't like to buy these things without trying them on. Because when you look at them online, you really don't get a sense for what color they are, and that is, it's lipsticks. I'm talking about the Gucci lipsticks. So the Sephora at the Grove has moved from that teeny little place to the old Anthropologie. It is easily 3 times the size, and when the store is bigger, they definitely have more product, more variety. I was over there and I said, so what do you have new? And she says, oh, have you tried the new Gucci's? Take me there. Take me to your leader. I want to hear about it because I have been curious. It's mostly, I have to admit, the amazing, beautiful, retro, just gorgeous packaging that has got my interest. So this is what they are. So they have, I think, 5. I'm not looking at my notes. They have a balm, they have a metallic, they have a sheer, matte, and satin. So 5 formulations. Each formula is in its own packaging, and I got 3. Boom. So the one in the adorable rosebuds is the sheer. These two look alike, but actually their finishes are different. The matte is ribbed. You can kind of feel it, so you don't even have to look. This is the satin, and this has etched into it some kind of deco motif. It's really, really pretty. What I like about this is if you only have a couple, you can just feel them and know which one is which. Whereas when you look at, I don't know, the Pat McGraths, unless it's a special edition, they're all in this, whether it's a matte or not, and the print is so small that I can't read it, so I have to open each one to find the color I'm looking for. And with this, you might not have that problem, at least if you just have one in each category. Something that's really interesting about this line, the SA told me, everything that is matte color-wise is also in satin. So if you find a matte you really like, but you're not so sure about the formula, you can go to the satin. It appeared to me, though, when I was looking at them, that there are more colors in the satin range than in the matte range. So, for instance, and I'm just making this up, I'm sure I'm wrong about the numbers, there might be a 200 and a 201 and then a 203 in the matte, where there would be a 200, a 201, and a 202 in the satin. So it seemed to me there were some additional colors in that. I have primed my lips. This is so good if you are like me and your lips are constantly bothering you. And since I know I'm going to be putting on some lipsticks and doing some swatches, I put some on. So let's start with the sheer. I got something called Agatha Orange. Here it is. Really pretty color. It would be best with a liner. And you can do the sheer and just dab it on for a little bit, or you can kind of go on normally. These do have a little bit of a scent to it. It's kind of a, I don't know, floral, let's say. It's, I can't say, oh, it's jasmine or, oh, it's rose. It's just, I don't know, generic floral. Let's do some swatch. This is what it looks like on the hand. Just to make it look a little better, I'm going to do a little lining. I'll be right back. So let's do a couple of comparison swatches. I pulled a couple of things that may be a little similar. Givenchy in Mandarin Bolero and Laura Mercier in Coral Vif. Here is the Gucci, this is the Givenchy, and this is the Laura Mercier. As you can see, they're really not similar. This is really a pure, true orange. And these formulas, by the way, are not the same. I'm just looking for color matches. And for me, I'd say they are different enough to keep them all. So yeah, great for summer, very, very comfortable, and I'm a fan. I'm going to go over the lip just a little bit with some NARS concealer, so there's no orange left over. Now let's go into the satin. This is Blaze of Noon, and I got a very nice neutral color. And to me this has a little bit of a pink undertone. Do a little bit of lining, I'll be right back. There you have it. I find this to be pretty comfortable. It's not the most comfortable ever. I just recently did a video on some very, very comfortable lipsticks. It's comfortable. It's not, you know, super, super amazingly comfortable, but it's not a problem. And for this one, I have a couple of things to choose from for comparisons. From Pat McGrath, I have Christy. Also from Pat McGrath, this is a limited edition called Skin Sane. I have Dusk from Becca, which is so comfortable, and it's my favorite nude right now. And then I have Super Cindy from Charlotte Tilbury. So let's do some swatching. This is Blaze of Noon by Gucci. Blaze of Noon, the Charlotte Tilbury, and Dusk from Becca. The Blaze of Noon right here, Pat McGrath Christy, and Pat McGrath Skin Sane. Now the Christy and the Skin Sane actually look pretty similar. In fact, to me, let me add up to this Skin Sane, because I think they're very, very similar, but the Skin Sane has a little bit of micro glitters to it, so it reads a little differently on the lips, but I kind of feel like this is a little bit darker, but it's very, very similar. I feel that if you have either of these two, you probably don't need the Gucci. But to me, I feel like the Gucci has a little bit of a warmer pink tone to it, where the Skin Sane is cooler, and the Christy is also a cooler pink. But they're both, and the Christy is also deeper in tone. So that's the Christy. And before we get into the matte, I'm going to do this because I need it. And I think this is just like 15 bucks and it lasts for a long time. I don't wear it every day. I probably should. And you just let it sink in for a second. If you want, you can take off the excess on, but I'm going to let it sink in for another minute. Just take off the excess with my finger. This is the matte. This is called Ruby Firelight. And it's kind of a coral, but it's unusual. I don't have anything quite like this. It's like in my little teeny LED monitor on my camera, it's like boom, lips. This definitely needs a little liner. I'm not sure what kind of liner I want to do with it. I'm going to go with Pink Venus from Charlotte Tilbury. Let's now swatch. I have 4 things to choose from. I have Miranda May from Charlotte Tilbury. From MAC, I have Runway Hit. From Bite, I have Sweet Cream. I think this is discontinued. It doesn't look like they're coming back with their lipsticks, but I still have it, and I'm going to try it. Shiseido, this is their gel formula in Bullet Train. I don't think actually any of these are going to be a straight up dupe, because this color is unusual, but you know, we'll probably find things that are similar. All right, right here, this is the Gucci Ruby Firelight. This is Bullet Train from Shiseido. This is Runway Hit from MAC. This one is Sweet Cream from Bite. And this one is Miranda May from Charlotte Tilbury. And I think the Bite looks really kind of close. But they're all in the same family. I also feel like the Runway Hit, which is this one, is also pretty close. So the Bite and the Runway Hit, these two seem pretty similar. I'm going to swatch those next to each other, just for giggles. You smell so good. I love the MAC scent, but all of these have scents to them. So it's just a nice little melange of yumminess. In the middle, Gucci. This is the MAC Runway Hit, and this is the Bite Sweet Cream. I kind of feel like I don't need to keep this because I feel the Sweet Cream is really close. And in the time that I've been talking, this has faded from that bright color that had a lot of white in it to something a little more agreeable. And that's about it. Now, for me, the sheer is comfortable, the satin, comfortable enough. This is one of those formulations that is matte and it goes on nicely. It's like, ooh, it's so cushy. And then after about 15 minutes, half an hour, it's like, ooh, it's so drying. That's a common thing going on with matte lipstick. It's almost as if it's formulated to be sold to you, you know? So you put it on and you're like, oh, this is so comfortable. and you go and buy it, and you know, you leave the store, and 5 minutes after you leave the store, you're like, what's going on here? That's what I'm getting with this. I get it a lot with mattes. They're start comfortable, and after 30 minutes, they're not comfortable. There's something about the way they formulate them. It has something to do with dimethicone. I just did a video on lipstick, so I'm going to shorthand this, but it's not one of those things where you can look and say, oh, this one ingredient doesn't work. Because I kind of figured out there was one ingredient that didn't work, and then I found it in something that I really love. So it's really about the formulation. It's how they put it together. For me, I do have to try something on and leave it on for a half an hour and wait for it to develop, maybe even an hour, to see how it adheres to the lips before I can decide if I'm going to buy something. For me, I've been trying this for several days, and I feel like I have colors close enough that are more comfortable than this one, so I think that's going to go. But I might get something else in a satin. We'll see if something tickles my fancy. I hope that was really helpful to you. I feel like I gave you some swatches. We looked at a couple of formulas, we looked at a couple of colors, and my skin tone, which is light to medium. For instance, I'm wearing the Reboot 315, but I lightened it a little today. And in the Bite, the new Bite, I'm 1L30 to L40. That's kind of me. So that might help you to see how something's going to work with your skin tone, which makes all the difference in the world. Thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with me. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you come again. Please come again. In the meantime, I'm wishing you a great day.